Oops. Red leader standing by. Hey, Parker. Hey, Mark. Blue leader standing by. That was especially appropriate for you, Mark, because I don't know about everybody else's screen, but on my screen, your name is in blue. Parker's is in yellow, though. But I'll let it go, Parker. I'll let it go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Very fast on that one, dude. Good on you there, dude. I thought you might change it if you were able to, but I wasn't expecting it that quick. Anyway, hey everybody. I really should have done this Plague Doctor thing like last summer, or last spring, I guess. Or last winter, really late winter, I guess, when the COVID stuff first started. But whatever, I'm here. And let's draw a Plague Doctor. I had Plague Doctor on my list for a while for kind of fun original ones to do. But what reminded me of it is in the last week, I guess, or maybe it was the week before that, was showing some stuff from Hullabaloo, which is the independent, crowdfunded steampunk animated adventure movie made by a bunch of former Disney animators. That has been in the works for quite a few years now. I think is expected to be finished soon. Thanks for the sub, Mark. In one of the, was showing some new stuff from it, and they showed some test footage, and one of them included a Plague Doctor, and I was like, oh, I should do that. I didn't notice your question there, Parker, but I just answered it, so hopefully you were listening. Although, like I said, it was already on my list. I don't remember how it ended up on my list initially. I'm going to do something a little bit different with it, though. I'm also going to restart, because I think I want to draw them a bit higher on the page. This could end up being another quick one, by the way, guys, and I'm not really sure. I could also get away from it. Maybe I'll get motivated for some other detail. I don't know. I'll probably exaggerate the nose quite a bit because I have a tendency to exaggerate stuff in general. Figure out the basic. You're not really going to see the face really at all, of course, but I need to have the basic. Well, I see we have Parker and we have Mark. Although, who is number 3? Do we have? Is number 3 a chatter? By the way, I'm going to do a female plague doctor, which I feel like you either don't see too often, or you're not necessarily aware of it because they're so covered. I can't take credit for like breaking new ground here, though. I did actually. I saw cosplaying lady plague doctor, and it kind of gave me the idea. I'm not basing it on that design, but that's kind of was like, actually, you know what? That gives me some ideas for some costume stuff. I mentioned Hullabaloo, and I want to ask you guys if you know Hullabaloo, but I also feel like I might have been talking about it on the stream fairly recently. Am I right? You're getting too deep for me here, Parker. Somewhat undecided on this hand. I know she's gonna have a cane. I don't know if I want her to have it holding it or resting on it. I'm not really sure. There's Chantel. Yeah, that's true. I kind of did give a pretty decent quick rundown there as I explained it. So. I've been thinking more about it because honestly, it was taking them so long I was starting to question if it was still happening. I think I had barely started teaching when I first heard about it. I think I was only a year or two in. Okay, I just realized I should actually draw the face before I commit to this arm because maybe that nose is gonna get in the way. Let's figure that out. Torn, 'cause I actually do like that pose. Maybe pull the nose back a tiny bit. bit at least. I did a very minimal amount of research on Plague Doctors earlier. Didn't actually know about the aroma stuff until you said it earlier, Chantel, on Discord. And I had always thought that a big reason for the beak was just to keep them from getting too close to patients, honestly. So if you're leaning in, your beak would hit them before you'd come into contact. Which is why they had the cane and stuff, but still. Hey, Marsh. Well, I don't think I'll be doing color because I'm going to want a bit of a dark look to it, but it will be a lot of black to fill in, so it might feel kind of somewhat colored. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be as quick as Meru, but it probably will be quicker than a lot of the ones I've done. Honestly, I got some pretty lengthy ones planned for the not too distant future, so... Maybe not. Maybe not. It's kind of like this layered look on these jackets, almost like a long rider jacket. Pimp my Plague Doctor. How's everybody doing tonight, by the way? What are we up to as we watch? Oops. I see. Capstone project. I got most of my grading done on Friday. No, Saturday. Wasn't in the mood for it, but I just wanted to get it out of my way. Oops. Bumping the camera again. You didn't know that, Parker? Oh, nice. Mars, what'd you see? Oh, cool. Did you like it, Mars? I liked it. I wasn't surprised about how well shot it was myself. I think James Gunn's proven himself pretty good at this point. Come on. This pencil. Yeah. Might have a jam to contend with here, guys. Alright, gonna need to. Oops. Sorry. Assassin taken apart Hey, Billy. No, we don't panic just yet, Parker. Do you guys remember in the really early days of my streaming, there was one day where I ran out of lead, so I just went straight to ink before I was done with the line work and just kind of made some of it up as I went along. Come on, why isn't this working? You guys are learning some life hacks here. Okay, so here's what we do. If it's jammed, we take a piece of lead, and we slide it back in if we can. Holding like a syringe here. Try to push it in. There we go. Theoretically, if I can do that, then it should work. Just being super stubborn? I don't know. Come on. It's quality television, guys. No, we're not giving up on the Plague Doctor. We'll be annoyed, but we'll make it work one way or the other. Oops. It's gonna be fun to deal with too. Oh, wait. I think it's on its way. There we go. Alright, that was weird. But we're back. We're cool. Hey, Centane. You enjoying the break, Mars? Yes, I did. On the steampunky thing, I mean. Well, wait, do we have... Well, okay, I know you're Marcella, as in currently in Foundation Marcella. Is other Mars here and I didn't notice? Go for it, Parker. But Marzipan Blue is current Foundation Mars. Marzi is Foundation Grad Mars. Parker, are you about to ask me about cartoon characters that wear shorts with belts? I swear to God, man. If I was to advertise it, well, okay, as a comic book fan who can't walk past the comic book store without looking inside, all that's really going to matter to me is just anything that screams comic books in the window or on the sign, like just any kind of pop culture-y geek type stuff. If I want that store to stand out above the rest, then it's going to probably come down to the selection and stuff, I guess, that they have. So that would be something to emphasize. But also, ways that I'm maybe going to make that assumption is like, you know, like something really quirky about the sign, clever name for the sign. You know, like kind of like a statue alien motif or something like that. Some sort of theme could be really cool, so it feels like a bit more of an experience. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I remembered. And I see that something of a comic guy, like that was totally a Green Goblin nod, wasn't it, there, Mr. Parker? You were tempted though, and we all know it. Alright, let's start inking it. See what we get. By the way, I didn't think to bring it up on Tuesday. I know there was a little bit of talk on the Discord, but how are we feeling about the SpiderMan trailer? Oops. Because you haven't seen it, Billy, or you don't know what to make of it? Fair enough. I feel more and more the same way that you do about trailers, Parker, and yet I have a hard time not watching them sometimes. I try to do that. I do that more and more often. I watch the first trailer and not the others, but Could happen, Mars. But yeah, that's this thing, and people just will not. And then they make like a big thing about how many people have watched the trailer as well. Like that means something. It actually reminded me of, okay, like no doubt. Like I'm optimistic. I'm hoping it'll be good. Obviously, I like SpiderMan. And it might be great. So this isn't me saying that it's gonna suck or anything. But I remember when that first trailer for 50 Shades of Grey came out, and it shattered records, and everyone was like talking about it, and then it became like a thing, or like everyone was shocked then that that didn't translate to the same kind of box office. Like the movie was successful, but it wasn't as successful as they were projecting based on the amount of people that watched the trailer. And it's like, well, no, the trailer got a lot of views because the thumbnail had a girl in her underwear tied to a bed. That's why like 1 billion people watched that trailer right away. They weren't watching it because they were dying to see the movie. But Spider-Man is going to make $1 billion whether it's good or not. Let's be honest. But hopefully it's good. The other thing to your point, Parker, is like I think Sony is particularly bad with their Spider-Man trailers. And the two worst examples of it are Homecoming gave away literally the entire plot. But then also Rhino in Amazing Spider-Man 2 is barely in the movie, and that would have been fine if they hadn't marketed the shit out of him being in it. If he just showed up as a surprise cameo, we all would have been like, oh, look, it's Rhino, that's cool. But you put him all over the posters and stuff, and we're just waiting for him to show up the entire time, and it's like, oh, well, Rhino's barely in it. What the hell is this bullshit? That's what it was, JC. I agree, although Molina himself spoiled that he was going to be in it. So to me that wasn't a big reveal. Some of the other stuff in it was a big reveal. I just remembered I was thinking about actually giving her long hair sticking out the back, and I forgot. What do you guys think? Should I give her hair or no hair? No hair? Okay. Alright then. True. I was about to say something else about that. Oh yeah, something else that's really annoying too is not only are trailers spoilery for the movie, but they're starting to spoil themselves now also, because you can't just click on a thing and watch a trailer. You click on a thing and then it shows you a like 4-second trailer for the trailer. So the big reveal moments in the trailer that were purposely edited to within the context of that trailer be a surprise aren't even a surprise in the trailer anymore. Like, what the fuck is that? I love Molina as Ock. I would agree with the JK, I think, more than Molina, only because Molina's great, but his Doc Ock was not like completely canon accurate necessarily, and he only played him in that one movie, although that might, it's obviously about to change, so. You know what's weird though is like they brought JK back to play JJ, and I don't think he's like a multiverse character. I think he's the new version of JJ that just happens to be the same actor. But now they're doing the multiverse thing where they could bring back the literal JJ if they wanted to. I was actually thinking that the other day as well, Mars, because like they haven't confirmed one way or another if Toby and Andrew were going to be in it at all. And the fact that they managed to go this long without that reveal being leaked makes me think they're not in it that much. Or what if there's like other stuff for Peter to contend with throughout the whole movie, and all the characters from the multiverse don't even show up till the climax? That's also true, yeah. But yeah, that's the frustrating thing though with just fandom in general. It can be so toxic, like we've said before, but it's like they're so entitled, they have a theory about what's going to happen, and then if it doesn't happen, it's like they fucked up. But it's like, well, no, they just, like, there's a lot of different ways that all of these projects can go, guys. You gotta realize that. No, then I would say so about the Star Wars fandom. I could see Raimi going into some Lovecrafty stuff. Especially because like you got the Necronomicon and everything in Evil Dead, right? That's Lovecraft. Even that first episode of What If got a little Lovecrafty, actually. Tiny bit. My only... So, like, you're right, but at the same time, Raimi got kind of pushed around on SpiderMan 3, and it blew up in everybody's face because of that. So I don't know if he would take on another movie like this if they weren't going to let him do his thing. By the way, those of you that did watch the trailer, Doctor Strange's hair look weird in that trailer to you? So Lovecraftian Parker is referring to H.P. Lovecraft, the science fiction horror author that created Cthulhu, among other things, and Necronomicon comes from Lovecraft lore as well. And he's kind of famous for tentacles. So the Captain Carter episode of What If features tentacles, spoilers, coming out of like a portal at the end. It's very Lovecraftian. There's very Lovecraft stuff in the Hellboy movie, especially at the very beginning, when they kind of conjured Hellboy himself. Unless Necronomicon also predates Lovecraft and he kind of adopted it, but I don't think so. I think it's his thing. I haven't... well, about a year ago, right at the beginning of the pandemic, I think actually, I finally read a bunch of Lovecraft. I'd always been a fan of his stuff, but I hadn't correct that. I had never read his stuff, but I'd seen a lot of movies that I really liked that were described as Lovecraftian, so I felt like I would like his stuff. And some of my ideas for where I was going with combat fairies felt like it would probably be described as Lovecraftian, so I thought I better read some of his actual stuff. So I got a collection of his short stories. He wrote mostly short stories. And so yeah, so a more recent convert. I actually, on the weekend, watched Reanimator, which is pretty different from the book, but it was pretty fun. It's based on Herman West Reanimator, which is a Lovecraft novella or novelette, whatever you call it. Maybe. Also could be that, I mean, it looks like he's in it a fair bit, but trailers can be misleading. And maybe they couldn't actually give him a whole new do if he was in the middle of filming something else. Kind of like Henry Cavill in Justice League. Does anybody know anything about the Eternals, by the way? Like, I'm kind of excited about that one based on the fact that I know so little about it. Like, I never read a Guardians of the Galaxy comic before the movie, but I at least was aware that it existed, you know? I feel like it was, or she might have been wearing a... Yeah, I think it might have been. I think her whole helmet might have been CG. Oh yeah, Parker just said it. Or she might have been wearing the cap. It might have just been the horns that were CG though. That's what I mean. Like I at least knew Guardians existed. Knew nothing about the Eternals. Yeah, I know someone's in it as well. By the way, I don't want to get into spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen it, so I'll be vague, but I think the newest episode of What If was my favorite so far. I think they've all been fun, but I think this was the most like kind of interesting and more genuinely experimental. You excited to be starting next week, JC, by the way? Yeah, no, it's fun, for sure. I hope as it goes, though, they get a bit more wild with the storylines. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think that the first one, Captain Carter as a character was super cool, but I think outside of that, I enjoyed it, but I thought like there was room for more from it. And I thought the other ones were both pretty good in general. And as long as it's entertaining and fun, I won't complain. But I think that there's room to go pretty crazy with that, with a what if show, you know? And I'd like to see him take advantage of that. This track came out before because I remember saying it sounded more like a sound effect track for Halloween sound effects. What's your favorite episode of What If, Billy? So far? Second one? The second one was fun and also an added bonus for the lead character and their voice actor, of course. Let's go full hatch on this part of her corset. Also me too. Actually, you mentioned that. By the way, I hope this isn't a spoiler. I don't think it'd be a spoiler. In the latest episode, there was at least 2 or 3 shots where if it was a wide shot, they would show the Watcher watching them from the sky. Was that in the first 2 episodes I just never noticed, or was that new to the 3rd episode? I'm pretty sure you're right, Marsh. Billy, was that to my question, or was that to... Oh, it wasn't the others, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I missed that then. I thought that was really cool. If I was a little bit closer to the screen, I promise I would be turning this off. Do you guys want me to change this? That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the Watcher effect a lot. I also really like Jeffrey Wright's voice as the Watcher too. I don't think it's the voice I would have imagined for the Watcher, but I think it works. Yeah. Actually, I never said the keyword for the music tonight was creepy, so there you go. Yeah, the Slenderman movie wasn't that good. remember thinking of the Slenderman one as a Ring kind of movie, though. Am I just not remembering something? Copy pasta. Okay, I'm gonna do some somewhat elaborate. Cross-hatching. Emphasis on somewhat. Do you mean just a notification, Centane, or do you have a stream active on Discord? Okay. I just realized, did JC answer me earlier when I asked if he was excited for the new term? When he starts writing? Well, that's creepy, whatever the fuck we're listening to now. You guys want me to change this music? It's kind of been stuck on this type of shit for a while. I'm leaving it in your hands, though. You guys let me know. Yeah, exactly. Change the music? Alright, let's do it. Okay, give me a keyword, guys. What keyword should I try instead? Medieval? Should I try medieval? Let's see if medieval brings anything up. Or actually steampunk. Let's try steampunk first. Nothing for steampunk. Alright. I don't even know how to spell medieval right. Alright, let's just do fantasy. I don't know. It can be weird, but not always. I said that right at the beginning, JC. Never thought of it then. Dawson, another VFS person, when I posted the ad on Instagram earlier, replied like, appropriate for the time. So I was like, I think it would have been more appropriate a year ago, actually. I'm kind of on the, hopefully, home stretch now. What the fuck, man? I don't think I told you guys this, so I'm on a few like comic artists groups on Facebook, right? And one of them is associated with Cartoonist Kayfabe, which is a YouTube channel that I really like. And I've had a few people add me on Facebook after I post something on there or comment on something, and I usually accept because there's a lot of other creators on there, sometimes looking to network or whatever, so I'm usually down for that. But I had this one guy like add me, and then was really weird because he like immediately started chatting me up a bunch. It seemed like he just like wanted desperately to be my friend, and I'm like, so I'm trying to just be nice about it. Like I'm thrown by it, but I'm like, okay, fine, we could be friends. Why not? if you're cool, kind of thing. And then he like asked me to like the stuff that he posts, and I'm like, what? And read the stuff he posts. I'm like, well, like, are you a creator? And you're like, no, just a fan. So basically, he added me so that he could get me on Messenger and directly ask me to make sure that I read his posts, where he's just posting comics that he likes and his opinions on them and stuff. And I was just like, okay, that's weird. So I didn't really respond to him much after that, when I realized that he was literally just kind of trying to not only self-promote, but not even trying to promote anything like that he could even really gain anything from. So that was weird on its own. And then, yeah, it was either this morning or yesterday morning, he posted an anti-vax thing, and I was like, nope, unfriended. we're done. So that's that story. In case you guys were wondering. Might do a little bit more. These hot spots might be a bit too much, but we'll wait till I get all the other ink in there. Go for it, JC. A Buddy Pine? I don't know if I'm getting the reference there, Parker. Oh, right, yeah. I liked Incredibles too, but I haven't seen it again since the theaters. Incredibles 1 I've seen a shit ton of times. It's maybe my favorite Pixar movie. Well, I don't know if I remember it well enough to be able to defend it, Mars, but go for it. Do you want do you want to explain? I actually don't argue. So, okay, like I said, I did enjoy the movie. I did like it. But I kind of agree with you. It's pretty much the same movie, just with the roles reversed for Incredible and Elastigirl. I enjoyed it, but I did have that criticism. My other criticism I'm remembering now, as you're mentioning it, was that like it was kind of cool picking up right where the last one left off, but at the same time, not necessarily jumping ahead the real world amount of time that had passed, but um, if Violet was now in college and Dash was in, because to me the second one, the coolest part was the superhero action, whereas in the first one the superhero action was cool, but it kind of came second to the character stuff. And I thought if they jumped ahead a few years, Dash is in high school, Violet's in college, Jack's in, I guess, elementary school or middle school or however, whatever makes sense, then that would have given you new character dynamics to play with, and you could have had the character stuff again be just as interesting as the action stuff. Yeah. No, I think it was a fun movie, but yeah, it didn't have the charm of the first one for all the reasons you said. I do not disagree. I should do more hatching on these arms actually too. Imply it's the same fabric as the skirt. Yeah, very good point, JC. Yeah, no, definitely not the animators. I don't. I think that they still have some great ones. I really liked Soul. Um. Uh. But yeah, I thought Luca was good, not great. I think it's they don't take the same risks that they used to. I think is the problem there. Although I think they still definitely have more hits than misses. Coco was good, yeah. Just showing up won't be annoying, JC. Showing up and then being a dick or something would be annoying, but see, what you don't realize, JC, is you've never seen me in a classroom environment. I actually have past students visiting me all the time, usually when we're on campus. Let's hear it, Mars. I feel like you don't know me at all, JC, if you think I'm someone that goes off on people. I think Up is a good movie. I think the first 10 minutes is the strongest piece of storytelling in the entire thing, but it's not only the strongest piece of storytelling in Up. It's just a very strong piece of storytelling in general, and so it ranks there. But I definitely not going to call Up a bad movie. But I won't argue that's where most of the love comes from. I agree on both of those last two things. Yeah. I might. I don't know. I have a possible idea for kind of a background that wouldn't be like difficult, but I never did get more markers or anything, so I don't know if I have the equipment for it. And once I start, I'm kind of committed. I think Ratatouille is definitely underrated for sure. If I thought of that in the first place, then maybe, but I would have probably taken a very different approach to this whole thing. I kind of like the creepiness. I don't know if I want to turn this into a jokey one, but I like where your head's at, though, Mark. background I'm thinking isn't really anything elaborate at all. It would just kind of be a cool overall look for it, but it would involve a shit ton of black ink. And it'd have to all come from this brush pen. And if I run out, I don't know if I got anything to compensate with. And this brush pen's been kicking for a bit now, so I don't know. Mixed feels. Wait, what are we talking about? Who doesn't need to be vaccinated? Where? Graveyard. I would use that, Billy. I gotta figure out a better setup for my new place to use that again, because I need to have a proper place to sit water and shit to do that. Talking about Brown's social house? Okay. That is very weird. And is that a Browns policy, specifically? Or is that just like a loophole in the new laws they just instigated? Really sure I recognize this tune. I could see that, yeah. Okay, what's that, guys? Oops. Alright, while I'm up, I'm gonna hydrate. Hope the sound of my drinking wasn't disgusting, but I'm done, so if it was, too late. That. Or that. Let's go with that one. I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna roll the dice on my brush pen. On another note, did anybody ever see the Predator, the newest Predator movie from a couple of years ago? Finally watched that last night. I didn't think it was like great, but I thought it was a lot better than I was expecting from everything I had heard about it. Well, it was like 2018, the one that Shane Black directed. It's got Jason Tremblay. And Olivia Dunn. You didn't know that? Well, yeah, it didn't do that well, so maybe it's actually not that weird. It tonally is very different from the other Predator movies, and I think that is where it lost a lot of people. And I definitely do. I think I would have preferred the more classic Predator vibe, but shit. But I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was. I had some major issues with it. Jason Timberlake has autism in it, and I really like Shane Black as a writer and a director. I feel like he didn't do any research on autism before writing the script, and I thought the whole inclusion of the kid was kind of completely unnecessary anyway. But overall, I thought it was a fun enough like action movie, just kind of an odd direction for a Predator movie. Yeah, exactly. I just said Billy. Welcome back, Centane. Kill lots of motherfuckers. Thanks, Centane. Yeah, I think that is. Well, the one that we've probably talked about the most in that regard, or at least I have for sure, is Ghostbusters. That the Ghostbusters remake, I think, might have been decent if it just stood on its own 2 feet instead of having to be a Ghostbusters movie. But you attach a brand and you expect something specific. By the way, this is a purposely spotty backdrop here, because I don't want to completely lose the shape of all of her features. Terminator Man. Arnold. I actually did a Predator marathon last night and capped it with the newest one, which I hadn't seen yet. Because I bought Predator. I bought the like trilogy Predator, Predator 2, and Predators on Blu-ray like years ago, and at that point I had never seen the second one, and I hadn't seen the first one in forever, and I hadn't seen the third one since theaters, and binged them all in one night. Got so jacked on it that I went out and bought Alien vs Predator just so I could keep the train going. And I had never seen Alien vs Predator, either of them. That completely derailed the hype because those movies suck. And then when I saw the new one was out on Netflix, I think like last summer actually, I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that marathon again, because that was fun. But I was working on my combat very short, and that took so long that by the time I was done, I was so anxious to move on to the next thing, I didn't really want to do a 4-movie marathon night anytime soon, but last night felt like a couch night, so... You're not the only one. Okay, the first AVP I get frustrated with because I think it's kind of slow, and I mainly buying the ticket to watch aliens beat the shit out of predators and vice versa. But I think that there is some cool lore in there, and there is some cool story elements to it. It's just not necessarily what I was looking for. The second AVP, I think he does have more of that, but it's kind of cheesy and disappointing in general, in my opinion. Freddy vs. Jason is, I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time. My memory of it is that is a way better movie than it had any reason to be. Although, I guess in fairness, you're maybe holding that to a lighter rubric as well. Because a lot of the Friday the 13th, that whole Friday the 13th franchise is kind of a guilty pleasure type franchise, right? Like, they're not amazing movies. And there's some greatness in the Freddy movies, but not through all of them. It's almost dead. I got what I need to out of it, though. I am gonna do a little bit of sharpiness around the edges, fix up some of the... I wanted it to be purposely sketchy and shoddy, but there's some areas that are a bit overdone, I think. You know what pet peeve I have in my, with the first Predator movie, though? Going back to that. I love the movie, but it's like, this isn't my pet peeve. It's just a setup for the pet peeve. So like the Predator itself doesn't really show up until almost halfway into the movie, and to me that's part of the cool factor, right? It's got that From Dusk Till Dawn kind of vibe in a way where it kind of sets you up to think that it's more like this like war kind of guerrilla movie, and then it turns into a horror movie out of nowhere. So my pet peeve is it kind of bothers me that the opening shot of the movie is a spaceship in space dropping a pod on Earth, because it's like, you just showed your tan. Why would you show your card? Just like let us discover that. And the Predator is kind of guilty of something similar at the very beginning as well, I think. Although it doesn't, less about showing it tan because the Predator shows up much sooner in that movie, but I just felt like it was unnecessary and almost demystified the Predator himself a little bit. I think we might be done. Thank you, JC. Yeah, it's true, Billy. Like, really super dark. Did what happened in Predator 2, Billy? You mean where they show the alien at the beginning? No. Predator shows up a lot sooner than it does in the first movie, but they wait till you get there. You just don't want me to stop drawing. I think that's the thing here, Mark. No. I think I'm calling this one. Alright, I'm gonna sign it right in the black. Actually, no, I'm gonna sign it right on her dress. Ink on top of ink doesn't always want to work. Seriously? Oh, I grabbed the wrong pen, I think, maybe that's why. Alright, whatever. I don't know. Use this one instead. There we go. There she is. I probably will color this one at some point, but there's not going to be a lot of color to add. Alright, that was a fun one. Thanks, Billy. Night, JC. Alright, guys. Next Tuesday, I'll be back with that full hand-colored fan art commission that I was teasing before. Thanks, Parker. Thanks, Mars. Night, Mark. Night, Centane. And something else for the original one, obviously, on Thursday. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.